Okay, good morning students. Today we will discuss about just how to write the chemical formula from its compound, right? So it's been very interesting topic. So last class we have been discussing about the compound which contain the single oxidation state, right? So single oxidation state ಬಗ್ಗೆ study ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. So today we will discuss about the poly oxidation state or multiple oxidation state, right? So come for this one. So cations. So it's been very important one, the cation. So for example, just I will tell you. So there is a copper ion, the copper ion, right? So copper ion. So if we go for symbol, so that is Cu+1, right? So one more. So the same thing, the copper ion, it will be exhibit the oxidation state is +2. The only one atom, it will be exhibit the different oxidation state. So copper +1 and copper +2. So if it is one atom exhibit the different oxidation state, how can we pronounce, how can we name the compound, how can we name the ion, right? Just remember that one. If the lower the oxidation state is less, Cu+1, right? So always ends with the us, Cuprous, right? So if the oxidation state is higher, +2, right? So this ion, it will be exists the name that is cupric, right? So the lower oxidation state is always ends with the us, and higher oxidation state is always ends with the ic, cuprous, cupric. So that's why while writing the name itself, we have to be write the cuprous ion, that is an cuprous ion, the cuprous ion. So this is an cupric ion, cupric ion, right? Remember that one. If the lower oxidation state is there, the name is always ends with the us. If the higher oxidation state is there, the name is always ends with the ic, cuprous, cupric, ferrous, ferric, mercurous, mercuric, right? Stannous, stannic. Remember, right? Understood? So in terms of here, ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ. ಸೊ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನೇಮ್ ಯಾವ್ದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅಸ್ ಇಂದ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಕ್ಯೂಪ್ರಸ್, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಫೆರಸ್, ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾನಸ್, ರೈಟ್? ಮರ್ಕ್ಯುರಸ್. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ದ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಹೈಯರ್, ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನೇಮಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಗೋದು ಇಕ್ಕಿಂದ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಕ್ಯೂಪ್ರಿಕ್, ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾನಿಕ್, ಫೆರಿಕ್, ಮರ್ಕ್ಯುರಿಕ್. So just I will give one more example. If in terms of here, so there are in terms of here in Fe+2, Fe+2. So in terms of here in Fe+3, Fe+2 and Fe+3. Okay. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸೊ ಐರನ್, Fe and ಐರನ್ ತಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಐರನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಫೆರಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರೋದು ಯಾವಾಗುತ್ತೆ, +2 ಮತ್ತು +3 ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರೋದು ಯಾವುದು, +2 ನಂಬರ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದೆ ತಾನೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ +2 ನಂಬರ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದರೆ, ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದರೆ ನೇಮ್ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಗೋದೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅಸ್ ಇಂದ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಫೆರಸ್, that is and ferrous, right? So here it is has been ends with the ferric, ferrous and the ferric, right? So come for stannous, the symbol of in terms of stannous, that is an SN, right? So this is the symbol tin ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, element name ಏನು, tin, SN symbol. So SN, that is an +2, and here it is an SN and +4, right? So oxidation state ನಾವು ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕಿಲ್ಲ, we should remember the oxidation state. SN +2 and SN +4. Which one is lower? Obviously ಯಾವುದು, +2 is lower, right? So that's why it has been ends with the us. Stannous ion, right? So ಇಲ್ಲೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, higher oxidation state, it has been ends with the stanic ion, right? So one more, that is Hg+1 and Hg+2, Hg+1 and Hg+2, right? So obviously the Hg is nothing but the mercury. Thermometer ಎಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿರೋ, ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ thermometer ಇರುತ್ತೆ, right? So mercury, it's only the liquid metal. Remember, it is the only one, the liquid metal. ಮಿಕ್ಕಿದೆಲ್ಲ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So this is the only one metal which is liquid in state. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಮರ್ಕ್ಯುರಸ್, this is mercurous and this is the mercuric, right? This will be nothing but the cation, it will exhibit the multiple oxidation state, right? So that is cuprous if the oxidation state is less, if the oxidation state is more, that is cupric, ferrous, ferric, stannous, stannic, mercurous, mercuric. Right? So come for in terms of here, so the polyatomic anions, we'll study about the polyatomic anion. It is very important, the polyatomic anions, right? Remember that one. So in polyatomic anion, these elements has been ends with the 8, right? So in terms of here, before that one, just will write the name. So in terms of here, if it is an NO3 minus, right? So remember, it's a poly means many atoms ಇದೆ, polyatomic anion. The name itself indicate poly means many, atom and anions. So there have been the many atoms which containing negative charge. This is a polyatomic anion. So this compound we are called nitrate ion, NITRAT, nitrate ion, right? So ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಫಾರ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ PU and second PU ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ, ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತಾನೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಆರ್ ಬಿನ್ ದ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಒನ್. ಸೊ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ದ ನೇಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್, right? So just will if it is just if I will tell you nitrate means just you can remember it is NO3 minus, right? So if will be one oxygen is less, it will become NO2 minus. One oxygen ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಯ್ತು ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, NO2 minus ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So this is nothing but nitrite, nitrate and nitrite, nitrate ion and nitrite ion, right? So one more, so that is SO4 2 minus, SO4 2 minus. So this is and sulfate, this is sulfate ion, right? So if one oxygen is less, here there have been the 3 oxygen atom, it has been ends with the 8, nitrate. If one oxygen atom is reduced, so it will become nitrite. So it will become for here SO4 2 minus, right? So it is now it is sulfate. Obviously ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, so if one oxygen atom has been reduced, so that is an SO3 2 minus, so it will become sulfate ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, sulfite ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, sulfite ion, right? So like that only if will be go for PO4 2 minus, PO4 3 minus, right? So this is PO4 and 3 minus, right? So this is nothing but the phosphate ion, right? So that is and phosphate ion. If the same thing, if I will reduce one oxygen atom, it will become the PO3 3 minus, right? So phosphate ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, so that is an phosphite ion, right? So that is and phosphite ion. And one more, that is so the CO3 2 minus, CO3 2 minus. So this one we are called and carbonate, the carbonate ion, right? So if it is an HCO3 minus, HCO3 minus, right? So now we have been not reducing the oxygen atom, we didn't reduce any oxygen atom, the oxygen atom has been as it is, but we have been added one hydrogen atom extra, right? So this one we are called and bicarbonate, right? So bicarbonate ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, and also the one more name, that is hydrogen carbonate, right? So it's a bicarbonate ion, bicarbonate ion, right? So these have been the very polyatomic ion has been very important one. So just remember, this is NO3 minus nitrate, right? So if one oxygen atom is less, so that is nitrite, sulfate, phosphate, carbonate and bicarbonate, right? So just we'll go for the naming, right? So how to be write the formula. For example, if we go for here, so that is ferrous sulfate, right? just I will tell you just how to be write the name. So that is an ferrous sulfate. This is an ferrous sulfate. So ferrous, it is always less oxidation state. Obviously the lower oxidation state is ends with the us. If it is ferric means that it should be a higher oxidation state, right? So ferrous anta helada enagutte, it is Fe+2. Sulfate is nothing but an SO4 2 minus. SO4 the 2 minus, right? So this +2 and -2 it will get cancelled. So the formula of this compound is nothing but FeSO4, ferrous sulfate, right? FeSO4, the formula of the compound is nothing but FeSO4. Come for one more example. So if it is ferric sulfate, what happens if it is ferric sulfate, right? So the ferric sulfate, if it is ferric sulfate, we know the oxidation state, right? So that is in Fe+3, and here it is SO4 and 2 minus, right? So we know we should go for the cross multiplication. We should go for the cross multiplication. Here this, the number that will be come down here, and this number it will become down here. So now it will become in terms of here Fe2 and SO4 and thrice. Fe2SO4 thrice. Fe2SO4 thrice. This is ferrous sulfate, right? So what happened if it is in terms of here copper sulfate, right? The copper sulfate nodona. So copper sulfate nodದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, so our cuprous sulfate, we'll go for cuprous sulfate. Cuprous sulfate is nothing but, so that is an Cu, cuprous, that is +1 oxidation state, and that is an SO4 and 2 minus, right? So SO4 2 minus. So this number it will come down here. So then it will become Cu2 and SO4, right? So this is cuprous sulfate. If it, what about if it is cupric sulfate, that is copper CuSO4. That's it. That is CuSO4, right? So we'll go for some more names. If it is ferrous nitrate, we'll write the formula for the ferrous nitrate, and ferrous phosphate, ferrous phosphate. Ferrous phosphate and aluminium sulfate. Aluminium sulfate, right? So come for the ferrous nitrate. Then we know the ferrous, it's lower because of its ends with the us, it is lower oxidation state, that is an Fe+2. Nitrate is nothing but an NO3 minus, minus that will indicate -1 only, right? So if we go for cross multiplication, this to come down here, this way here, if it will become FeNO3 twice, right? FeNO3 twice. So this is nothing but the formula, just right? So you go for the practice, you can easily go through all the compounds, right? So this is ferrous nitrate. Come for the ferrous phosphate. So that is ferrous Fe+2 and phosphate is nothing but and PO4 3 minus. PO4 3 minus. So now the formula of the compound is nothing but an Fe3PO4 twice. Fe3PO4 thrice. Sorry, twice. PO4 twice. Right. So come for aluminium sulfate. We know the oxidation state of aluminium, that is very good. That is +3. Right. So oxidation state means of aluminium means just you can easily remember that is +3. Right. That should be come to in your mind. That is +3. Al+3, and this is sulfate SO4 and 2 minus. SO4 2 minus. So this 2 it will become to the lower portion of aluminium, and this 3 it will be go to the lower portion of sulfate. So then it will become an Al2SO4 thrice. Al2SO4 thrice. Right. So these will be nothing but the compounds, right? So the chemical formula of the respective the compounds which exhibit the multiple oxidation state, right? If you can take the copper, you can take the iron, you can take the stannous, you can take the mercury, right? You can take any compound, you can write any formula for the respective, right? So I will tell you one more thing. So that is sodium carbonate. If we go for sodium carbonate, what is the formula for the sodium carbonate? Sodium carbonate. Sodium carbonate. We know the formula of the sodium, right? So because it will exhibit the +1 oxidation state, that is an Na plus, right? So carbonate we know, so that is CO3 2 minus. CO3 2 minus. So that is an CO3 2 minus. So this portion will come down here, then it will become an Na2CO3. Na2CO3. This is the formula for the sodium carbonate, right? So sodium sulfite, right? Now I want to know what is the formula for the sodium sulfite. Sodium sulfite. It's not sulfate, it's sulfite. PHIT, sulfite, right? So now the sodium is nothing but Na plus, right? So Na plus, sulfite is nothing but an SO3 2 minus. SO3 sulfite, one oxygen is less as compared to the sulfate. So now it will become an Na2SO3. Na2SO3. Sodium the sulfite. Potassium nitrite, right? Potassium nitrite. Potassium nitrite. Remember, it is not nitrate, it is nitrite. Potassium, we know the symbol, so that is an K plus. It will be exhibit the single oxidation state, and N, that is a nitrite is nothing but an NO2 minus, as we know, as we wrote here, right? So this is a nitrite, NO2 minus. If we go for cross multiplication, so that is in terms of here, and KNO2, right? So this is nothing but, these will be nothing but, so the compounds. So one more, we'll go for the elements or ions, which I will rub here, this one. Right. That is ClO minus, ClO2 minus. This is hypochlorite. This is an hypochlorite. This is chlorite. Different chuck. That is an ClO3 minus. This is chlorate, and this is ClO4 minus. This is perchlorate. Perchlorate. So just remember this is the name of this compound also. This is polyatomic anions. It's also been very important one. So this is, we will go for the first one. So that is ClO minus. So that is hypochlorite. If one oxygen has been get increases, one oxygen atom get increases, so it will become chlorite. If again one oxygen atom get increases, so it will become chlorate. If again one oxygen atom get increases, so it is perchlorate, right? So these will be nothing but in terms of here. So that is an anions, right? Polyatomic anions. So some other compounds also been there. So this is nothing but an COO minus and COO minus. So this one we are called so oxalate ion. This is an oxalate ion. It has also been very important one, right? So oxalate ion. Just remember these in terms of here. So the anions and their names. So that will be very helpful for the upcoming the first PU and the second PU. So the whole syllabus, right? Okay, thank you.